Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA's.
All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
On second down, Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Watch the eye. Listen. Jim.
Gone. They'll find Tanner. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Check. Hardball. Rush in. Watch out.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of the game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away. bad because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. Made them with a screen soon.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. On 3rd down, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Mason Rudolph leading the way offensively.
Hatch it. He's checking. Hey, Charlie.
On 1st down, gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. 20, 10, 5. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From the 27, Goff rolling to his left. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 56 yards. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
Watch the screen. Pass. Here we go. 76.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Hunt. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal.
Here I come! Here I come! Here I come! Here I come! Hey, Shell! On your team!
Here's gone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
Let's go!
And out now, here come the Bengals. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. 3rd and long here for Rosen. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's take it at around the 40. Touchdown, Cleveland. He returns the punt 60 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's Eckler. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
17. Shit.
Got some room at the 30. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark, 81 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So we reach half, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss. 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Let's go, D. Big C. Hey, fine. You got to step it up. Showing it. Kill. Hey, one set.
On 2nd and 11 now. Goff, and his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
57's Mike. Mike 57. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine.
Throwing on third. Goff. And that is incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down. Running on first down, Eckler. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Here's Rosen to throw. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Myles Garrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a first down throw. Gone. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
2 for 66. Check 6, God. Check 9, check 9.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
180. Hey, 5. Watch the screen. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Hey, let's go. Let's go, Brown.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Goff eluding the pressure right. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 40 yards. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Value 1. He's coming, double up.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Why? Get wide.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Rosen will throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 1st down, it's gone. That's taken in by Callaway. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Steps away, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Hold on. Check.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Like 20.
Watch the curls. Slam.
Super.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Shoot. Go, run.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on second down, Rosen. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. Philip Dorsett by himself. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
We're good. We're good.
Now gone. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Goff going to throw it. Going for it all. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rosen. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Hey, exit.
Squeeze, double. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Come on, D. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Whirling.
After the interception, here's Goff. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
Kick, baby. All day, every day.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Philip Dorsett, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
57's Mike.
Hey, Delta.
Check 3, check 3. Check it out.
Hey, let's go. Go, ground.
A shotgun snap for goal. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 13.
Nice pick, nice pick.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach."
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different